the National Star. Incidentally, my guest this morning is the editor of the new National Star and the president of Ezocha Nzeh. I'm sure that you're familiar with this face on some other station. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Really good to have you.
Thank you very much.
We've tried to bring you in for months now, and finally you're here. It's good. It's good.
Thank you.
All right. Now, so where do you really want to start from? You can choose where you want to start from.
Almost all the papers today, what we say in journalism, is a case of maybe buy one, read all.
Exactly.
Because almost all the papers have the major headlines.
All right.
Trending headlines like the Zulum.
The Zulum, and the 2027, the ADC.
ADC being the adopted child now for the opposition.
Yes.
So it's a case of buy one, read all, like I said. But the major things there is talking about insecurity that is reported in all the papers. The alarm raised by the Borno State governor and the statement from Senate that federal government should mobilize troops to northwest and north-south. I look at it, for me, the Zulum statement is not a new statement. It's not new, because we know that even during the time of President Goodluck Jonathan, the same allegation was made. But what bothers many people, what baffles many Nigerians, followers or watchers of the happenings in this country is, why is it that there is no will to confront terrorism in this country? There is no will. Government after government, statements being repeated, alarms being raised over and over. During the time of PDP government of President Jonathan, the president was shouting it to the extent that he said even in his own cabinet
that there are Boko
Haram have infiltrated.
Yes.
But did he pick out any? No. Did the PDP administration pick out one politician? You know that even in your own cabinet, Boko Haram infiltrated. Did the administration pick out one minister then, or one cabinet member then, or one politician that say, you, let the security agencies investigate so person, even without mentioning his name? No. The PDP administration went. APC took over. Even when Buhari was the president, the same statement kept reoccurring. Politicians are working with terrorists. Soldiers are working with terrorists. Was there any consequence? No. Again, under the same APC government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a governor, a sitting governor that is supposed to be the chief security officer of his state, is shouting, crying. Last week, he cried out and said, please don't let Mate Adgirinja fall to terrorists. This same week, about 3 days ago, he made that passionate appeal to federal government. Please don't allow these people to take over Mate. And if you go to Mate local government area, I think it's only that town, Mate, that is standing. Terrorists have taken over the community to the extent that residents run away at night and come back in the morning.
Wow.
Similar things happen in Zamfara. The same in Yobe. But what we ask ourselves is, does it mean that all these alarms are going into deaf ears? Where is the will to say, okay, let us have a look at all these cries that have started since PDP. Till this moment, nothing has happened.
Could it be that government is afraid that picking out any one of those people, even if they know them, like some of them have said, like Jonathan did say that among his cabinet members there are people who are disposed or loyal to Boko Haram. Could it be that they're afraid that it could have more terrible consequences if such people are picked out?
You see, all what we have said here, it's not that the military, they are not doing their best. They are trying.
Right.
But I have still maintained that let them not make Nigerians feel that they have been overwhelmed.
Right.
You see Zulum's comment that the terrorists use more sophisticated weapons than the military. But the government has been pushing money.
A whole lot of money.
A whole lot of money.
Yes.
So where are these?
Where is the money?
Where is this money going into? But like you said, is it that government is afraid of exposing this? You and I know that the type of democracy we are running is a democracy of fear. If a democracy of I don't want to lose my seat, it's a democracy of if I can cut you, I can get what I'm like. For example, now this is 2025. The next general election in this country is coming up in 2027. But are we talking of governance now?
No.
No, we are talking of politics. With 2 years
ahead,
we have abandoned governance. Everybody is talking about defections, endorsements here and there. Is that what we are supposed to be talking? That is when a society is not focused. If we have a focused society, the major thing that should preoccupy the mind of elected politicians here is to deliver the dividends of democracy, not to talk of how will I get ticket for the next election. That ticket will come. Like Makinde said, it is not, we saw what happened in 2023.
Yeah.
It is not about political party as far as I'm concerned. It's not about where I defected to. Who is telling or who tells them that even the parties they are defecting to will give them ticket?
All right.
Some people are co-founders and some people are co-joiners. And you think that the co-founders will sit and fold their hands and the co-joiner will come and just and grab it? No, there will be implosions. Forget about it that yes, defections are taking place. But there are states where it was okay, you have joined us, let us see how you get it.
So that's going to cause its own problems.
Exactly. So I think what politicians or elected officers should focus on is to deliver the dividends of democracy, and the security and infrastructure are the major dividends that Nigerians want.
Because if you don't even have security, how do you even talk about elections? How do you conduct elections in Marted where this man is crying now?
Exactly.
If it is taken over. And then the surrounding communities that you have said have already been taken over. So how do you conduct? So I think that we really need to prioritize. I think that
is just
we must prioritize security, governance.
Security, focus on governance. If you make people happy, there is no way that you will not get their vote. If votes count.
That's it. If votes count.
If you make people count, if you make votes count, and you meet people, clean their tears, wipe away their tears. Of course, Nigerians know who. If you rub their palm, they will rub your own. The votes is what they have to rub your palm, but the dividends is what you have to prove to them that yes, you sent me, and I didn't abandon you people. But as it stands now in Nigeria, politicians have abandoned their constituents. And you can see in Mate, for example, in Zamfara, residents are fleeing. So how will they come back and vote?
So residents are fleeing even when there's government in place. They are fleeing from dissidents. They are fleeing from non-state actors. They are fleeing from people who do. I mean, that's a very pathetic story, a very pathetic report. And like he said, for so many years we have said, oh, these people, there are informants, there are this. Indeed, when are we going to muster the political will to deal with the informants? Remember the case of somebody who UAE forwarded the names.
Did we hear anything about
now?
It? All they will tell us is
gone.
They are doing secret prosecution. If you shame the devil,
exactly.
You cannot tell us that the names UAE forwarded to us and this allegation has continued to come up. Politicians are behind this. Soldiers are behind this. You see, secrecy doesn't give peace.
It does not.
It does not. Make it open. Why is it that if you see now, with the exposure of certain people that worked in the past government, you will see that there are some revelations. There are, for example, let us be open here with what happened to the former CBN governor. You can now see that Nigeria has over 753 units of
houses
to sell and make money. If it has been, it was swept under the carpet, like they are sweeping the security issues under the carpet. Could Nigerians have known that this man, with Nigerian money, with illegally acquired the wealth, had a whopping an estate that has such number. So what they are doing to other people, they should not treat some people as sacred cows.
Exactly.
And that is what is raising the bar as far as insecurity is concerned in Nigeria. Some people are being treated as you will heard of some cases where some kingpins were arrested. People like a certain citizen Wadume was arrested.
Right.
And
now we no longer hear anything.
The same way people will. Nigeria is fighting democracy the way they are fighting corruption.
Fighting security.
I'm sorry. They are fighting security the way they are fighting corruption, because there is no will. There is no will. And if you are a president, if you are a governor, if you are do one thing and take that credit
and leave that legacy.
Leave that legacy that when I was there,
this is what I did.
Yes, despite the fact that I had several challenges, but I was able to achieve this. But as far as insecurity and fight against corruption is concerned, kid gloves. That's what they are giving them, and they are doing that because they don't want to rock the boat because of 2027 election. But
how long are we going to keep treating this matter with lip service, with double-mindedness, with hypocritical attitude? How on earth do we keep repeating the same thing and expecting different results? Now, we keep saying, like you said, so much money in this year's budget, in previous year's budgets, in the last few years' budgets, security has always taken lion's share. So where is the money with the weapons, the equipment of the enemy, of the bandits, are far of greater quality than, because that's what Zulum said. And he's not the first to say that.
He's not the first.
Exactly. So,
and he will not be the last.
So
even the Senate president raised a similar, an already known alarm for me to say that the terrorists are not only Nigerians. People have
foreigners.
There are foreigners have infiltrated. There was a new group they called the Lakurawa. We are made to understand that they came in through Mali, into Sokoto, and there was a time the government of former administration of President Muhammadu Buhari released or approved, whether released or not, I will say, but approved a whopping sum in billions of naira for e-border security. E-border security. To monitor the borders. Of course, we know that the role of Northwest, Northeast, there are so many borders.
So many routes.
What is the role of our immigration? What is the role of, what has that money approved for that e-border surveillance, security border surveillance? Were those equipments bought? If they were bought, are they in use? Who are those supervising the? That is why every day you see people, you don't know who is a Nigerian here, you don't know who is a Malian, you don't know who is a Nigerian. Too bad.
Honestly, you've raised another point, another angle to this, and you begin to ask questions because in recent times we have had all kinds of commissionings going on under the Ministry of Interior. And I think that the e-border security thing is also one of them. And you have e-gates, e-border security and all that. So the concern is that everything that needs to be done should be done to tackle security. We can't keep shifting the goalpost. Remember, to also confirm what you have said, that there was a chief of army staff in the course of fighting, that when he put the heat on the terrorists, on the bandits, on these people, some voices of highly placed people, some who even rose to the highest level of the administration, of subsequent administrations, rose up and said, this man is killing our people. I'm sure you remember that.
Yeah, of course, I know what you're talking about.
So clearly, there's complicity, there's no political will. People tend to be enjoying what's going on.
Yeah, that is it.
And okay, there are all kinds of people who are enjoying it, some for political purposes, some they are making money out of it.
Yeah.
And it hurts to think that people can be making money, blood money, from the blood of fellow citizens.
And because the country is even losing a lot in the as far as insecurity persists, as far as terrorism persists. Because in those areas where they have taken over, you cannot say that the law of the country is being
still governs those places.
There is now a period of anarchy there, and we know that even in some parts there have been illegal mining of certain
yes,
those things are thriving because there is serious insecurity.
Because there are interests.
Because there are interests, these things will continue to thrive because the government will not have access to those resources. Because you can't send somebody to go there when there is war, when the residents are already leaving their communities, when in some communities in Zamfara State, terrorists are collecting tolls. You can't go to your farm without paying money. Community heads will gather money because the terrorists will tell them, for you to access your farm, you must pay certain. And that you can still say that is a country in a settlement in Nigeria. That is another government.
Entirely.
And in such situation, anybody can do whatever he or she likes. And by doing that, the government will continue to lose a lot. When they are pushing more money into the fight, they are losing what they are supposed to get from those territories.
What should government be doing? Shouldn't there be a full, all-out clampdown on one hand, and also non-kinetic approach? Yes. I think that there has to be a combination of the two, and with full throttle, because I mean we're losing too many people, we're losing resources, like you just identified. We're losing resources. Even the resources being put into executing the war, into fighting the war, is a loss in a sense,
of course.
And then you have limbs and lives being lost, and unfortunately you have a situation where the country will rehabilitate people who perpetrated some of these atrocities, while people have permanent evidence of their encounter with these terrorists, and that render their lives incomplete or whole. And I mean, these are a whole lot of the issues that government must really take a look at. How long are we going to be on this same song? How long are we going to continue to just lament and just say we're on top of the game? What does it take really? What does it take? When we do elections in states, do you see the concentration of security forces, where you can take as many as 30,000 security personnel to a state? Now, if you focus 15,000 personnel on some of those places, on Sambisa Forest, for example, don't you think that will go a long way? Than you put 3,000 here, and then they draw rings around them and do all kinds of things, then you go and bring another one. I think that the strategies are faulty.
The major thing is that the will must be there first. The desire, the commitment,
yes, to
must be there
this.
Because I feel that there is no commitment from our leaders, and that is why they know what they are doing. You don't politicize security. You don't politicize security at all. You don't do there are sacred cows
in this fight.
There are untouchables in this fight, and there is nothing we can achieve with that. If somebody else, there must be a consequence. It is only in Nigeria that we promote those who have failed. If somebody fails, the person must be exposed and shown the way out. Like you said, there was a time a certain chief of army staff was doing a yeoman's job in the fight against terrorism. But people from that same zone started shouting, he's killing their people. You now saw that the military has gone back to Sambisa. There was a time we were told that they have cleared all the terrorists in Sambisa. But there is this report now that Boko Haram or Lakurawa has moved back into Sambisa. You see, the more we close our eyes on the major things that should be done, the more money we pump into the fight against terrorism. And the more we pump more money into insecurity, to fight insecurity, the more people, some people are fattening their pocket and their bank accounts.
Becomes more profitable.
That is why you see this thing. No, there has been no major drift or change.
Success. No major success.
It has always remained the way it is. Since Boko Haram, we started hearing of Boko Haram. The fight has always remained so because there are some interest, either financial interest, tribal interest, religious interest. These are interests that are crippling the efforts of government in this war against insecurity.
All right, maybe we move a little bit away from that so that we can take the other one that really ran through most of the papers, the political story, the ADC becoming the beautiful bride of most politicians right now. And as we speak, a meeting is about to, or will be going on right now, where the coalition may be ratified. Now, do you see this coalition as a formidable, competitor against the ruling APC?
Yeah, according to the Nigerian Tribune, Daily Trust said that ADC is now the
new bride.
New bride, and Nigerian Tribune said the ADC will meet today and may confirm their choice as the new bride. In democracy, coalition is allowed.
Right.
After all, it was a coalition that brought in APC into power. APC came out calling from the coalition of several political parties.
Yeah.
CPC, ANPP, DPP, and a faction of APGA and the other parties.
PDP.
AC. And today, the two major, the former leader of CPC was elected in 2005 in the person of Muhammadu Buhari. This time around, the former leader of AC is now on the saddle of so coalition is allowed. But what worries me here is the political parties and the stakeholders that are trying to form this coalition. Do they have that unity? You saw what in the New National Star. You saw the statement credited to the former presidential candidate of SDP, Adebayo, where he said that El-Rufai is not representing SDP.
Right.
And we know that El-Rufai has defected to SDP. One of the leaders of SDP has come out to say that he is on his own. So you can see that the schism is there already from the SDP side. You now come to the PDP. The face of the PDP in the coalition is their former presidential candidate and the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar. Yeah. But the governors of the party have said that we are not going into any coalition. So you also see that there's confusion there.
Yeah.
You go to the Labour Party. The face of the Labour Party there is their former presidential candidate and former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi. But you also see that in the Labour Party there are factions. There are factions. Julius Abure is leading a faction. The BOT camp is being led by Nenade Usman. Who is going into this coalition for who? That is the question. And you see ADC too. You know that ADC has never been a party without crisis.
All right.
So since I've followed, I have covered politics for several years. ADC in every year
is enmeshed.
They will bring out a presidential candidate towards the tail end of that campaign, they would disown the candidate. Last year, a certain Dumebi was announced as their presidential candidate.
That is last election.
Not last year, last election. I'm very sorry about that. During the 23 election, a certain Dumebi was announced, being propagated, shown as their presidential candidate. But towards the end of it, a faction came. The national chairman of ADC has remained one person.
Ever since.
Ralph Wosu has remained the national chairman of ADC. There will be a neck, maybe a factional neck, that will announce somebody before you know it, a court. So if they now go to ADC, for example, fine and good. Like I've said, coalition is part of democracy, and a solid coalition can cause an uproar in democracy.
Okay, a solid coalition like APC did in 2013 can cause an upset, can cause an uproar in the political setting, which is exactly what played out between 2013 and 2015.
Exactly.
And so if ADC gets it right, who knows? Who knows? And like you have said, it's looking more like a coalition of strange bedfellows for now. And they tend to be talking from different standpoints. And so a house divided against itself, how does it stand? But well, at this point, I think I want to invite you out there. You know that you can call in, and the line is open right now, 080-288 29938 is the number. Please do call in, and let's do this together while we still continue in here. Now, so in fact, I think that ADC itself, like you said, has its own issues.
Of course.
Just last week, we got the National Publicity Secretary and one other officer to talk right here in the studio. And they were saying at the time that they are not open for coalition, that they are only open, they are looking for individuals that will join the party, and that these individuals, they are not really interested in the old brigade. They are a party for young persons. They are a party with young intellectuals and all that. So when you begin to mention people like Atiku, begin to mention those kind of people connected with ADC, you wonder where the man was speaking from and what is happening right now. So I think that a whole lot still needs to be done. Else, APC, the way it is, APC stands gidigbam.
And you know, when in this coalition of a thing, part of the problems these political parties are having with some of the defectors they have received is the control of the party structure.
That's it.
Because no politician will want to give his structure to another person without getting anything. Look at the case of the NNPP. The crisis they are having now is that Anebonam, who was the founder, the founder of NNPP, surrendered his structure to Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. And to get it back after the election becomes a very serious problem. And you can see where it is leading the party to. Structure is a major thing. Like I have said here, ADC has always had Ralph Wosu as a national chairman. And then these big weights, heavy weights, come in.
They are likely to want to tinker
with the structure. Because it
and
is
that's where the trouble is.
The trouble will start.
Let's take this call. Hello? Hello? Oh, can you hear me? Oh, no. Okay, please do call in again. The phone line is open. I guess a lot of people are trying to get through, and maybe we're having some network issues. So that's one sign of trouble already. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, how are you today?
Fine, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling you from Warri, Delta State.
And your name is?
My name is Osaze Omojafe.
Osaze Omojafe.
Yeah.
Go ahead quickly, sir.
coalition we are deliberating on, is it going to solve the issue of this hunger in the land or the present situation we are in this country? The economy is going down for bad and down each and every day. So I don't know if this issue of coalition will resolve our present situation we have now in the country.
All right, so you are wondering whether, yes, I mean, if you listen to my guest, he also said we have a challenge in that governance has taken the back seat while politicians are already running around the place talking about 2027. It's a real challenge, my brother, Mojafe. So how do we go from here?
I don't really know, because everybody in this country, they are in a state of whereby they can't even feed. We are talking about coalition. These people who are collating themselves together, are they not former leaders of the countries that have led us to this condition? So what are we collating about for?
All right.
They should raise their case and work with the present party and see how we can move out from this present mess we are in the country.
All right. Thank you, Amojafe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so the line is still open. I mean, that's just re-echoing what you had already said. How do we keep talking about politics, talking about elections that is almost 2 years away, where people cannot feed, according to him?
That is where Nigerians have found themselves, where our leaders are now focusing on what they will get in the future, instead of the immediate. There is crisis everywhere. There is insecurity. There is poverty. There is no infrastructure in some states. If you go to some states now that it is rainy season, goods are inaccessible. Foodstuffs cannot be brought to the market. In fact, there is a community, I know of a local government area in Imo State, that residents are crying that they cannot not eat. The government should come to their aid. That they go to farm, they bring their goods, but they don't have access road to go to the market and sell them. So nobody to buy, and when there is no buying and selling, hunger will settle, and then the products will perish. And the products will perish. And there in that state, there is a government that is talking of 2027, instead of how to remove, alleviate the sufferings
of the people.
And that is the major reason we were elected. You are not elected to canvass for more votes that you have not seen, that you don't even know whether you will be alive to see the election in 2027. We are now, everybody is talking about coalition, endorsement, defection. What are we talking about? Is that what they were elected to do? I think the best, like Makinde said here, that it is not about coalition. It is not about defection. It is about the dividends. Let Nigerians see.
But you put a caveat. You put a clause. If votes count.
Yes.
When
if votes count. Nigeria should learn with it. He didn't take Peter. He didn't take a coalition for Peter Obi to make over 6 million votes.
That's true.
In 2023.
That's true.
He didn't take a coalition. He took only about 1 week or two weeks defection. I don't know if you understand my reason. He followed PDP up to the primary level.
Yes.
So it took only 1 week of his movement from PDP to Labour Party. So Labour Party cannot come and claim that they were the ones that gave the vote.
Not at all.
So, like Makinde said, it's between Nigerians and the politicians.
And that's why some people are beginning to really change independent candidacy. Let's take this. Hello?
Hello, brother.
Yes?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Yep. I didn't hear that.
From Edo State.
Okay, go on, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I joined my colleagues in this program. Senior journalist, you are doing a nice job, my brother.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
But one thing that
looks like, are you using earpiece or something? You're not audible enough.
hear me now?
Better.
Okay. We are taking this insecurity with all amount of levity, and we are seriously if we don't handle it. There's a war between the north. If we don't face it now, the army of occupation are all over our places here. I mean, I don't say here. We don't go to the farm again. It is that bad. They come in, they invade our land, they drive us away. It's just a similar thing that is happening people in their community. We have left our farmland now. We cannot run that farm on our farmland. And people are thinking this into this. When we were raising this alarm several years ago, people never saw it. There's a war between the north and the south. It is not open. Northern politicians are at war with southern politicians. The southern politicians are not sleeping. They are sleeping. They are not doing anything until this is totally overwhelmed. They are talking of 2027. Like my senior colleague said here, if there's insecurity in this country, we will be talking of 2027. But this army of occupation are here. When the ordinary killing at one of the year happened the other day here, the article 24 hours before it started condemning it. But all the killings that the Fulanis have been carrying out in this country, article has not condemned it one day. Why is it like that? Is it fair? We should see this.
I don't think that's correct. I think he has always condemned, brought a condemnation.
Yes. When you condemn something, yes, when you condemn something, people will see the truth in what you are saying.
All right. Okay. So let's leave you so we can go ahead. God bless you. Thanks for calling. Now, so you hear the concerns of Nigerians. It's saying that as far as it's concerned, there's even I don't think I want to repeat that. I don't totally agree. I don't totally agree with him. I don't totally agree with him because yes, there has been infiltration of the west, of the north, into the southeast, and no doubt about it. There has been, and it is also called. One can also attribute the insecurity in those areas to this, because there have been several abductions that have been traced to herdsmen. Yes. No doubt about it. No doubt. But the question is, even within the rank of the infiltrators, there are also locals that connect with them. Yes. There are also locals. So it is not entirely, you cannot say it is a war between the north and I don't totally agree with that, because even when crime is not committed only by Fulanis. True. Even in my own tribe, there are people who are criminals. True. Just as in other. But so the whole essence is to deal with criminality. What we ask ourselves is, this southwest, southeast, south, don't we have senators? Don't we have House of Reps members? Don't we have governors? Who among them has come out to condemn this? That is why I started by telling you that we are doing a democracy of fear. A democracy of let me not lose my seat. That's it. A democracy of let me not lose my plum committee appointment. I mean, committee appointment at the Senate. There is a democracy that when you criticize, you may be removed from a juicy committee you are sitting on at the Senate. When you criticize, they will say, okay, let us see how he will come back. You may be denied ticket. So that is why these our people should not, I must say it, they are not qualified to be our legislators, because we have watched the chambers of other countries' assemblies. You will see robust legislative deliberation. You will see robust representation. But here we are we have an assembly where a senator will be afraid of a minister, where a House of Reps member, we can imagine where a senator that is elected to protect his people and will come out and advise that the poor should be evacuated from their native land. Oh my God! In this country, a sane human being, because you are well placed, you wouldn't allow the downtrodden to breathe.
You want to compound their problems that you are elected to alleviate.
It would even have been better if you were saying, let's rebuild the place for them.
That is the type of democracy we are running. A democracy of fair. A democracy of a law of the longest pause. If it is good for me, I don't care
about any other
person.
That's very sad. At this point, I don't know. We really need to wake up to our responsibilities as leaders, as politicians, and we can't overemphasize it. Nzeh. And like some people have alluded to, we really need to go back, because you see, like, you said it, government is in place to provide security and welfare for the people. That's the most basic responsibility of government.
Yeah.
So that you are chasing votes or you are chasing a ticket for the next election should be secondary, not primary. So I think that we need to get our priorities right and do the appropriate thing. Now, talking about ADC, the way it is going, don't you see a situation where that party, the way it is going, I mean, nothing is yet perfect, nothing is yet cast in stone, but from the snippets, from what we have gotten, will it not be running against the gentleman agreement of rotation between the South and the North, presidential rotational presidency between the South and the North, the way it is
anyway, what we are still hearing right now is still rumors. We are not, like they said, the party will meet today. When they meet, we will know that. And talking about if there is a coalition, there will be a convention. There will be primaries. And of course, any political party, any coalition that thinks that the arrangement will be truncated may not succeed.
Because somebody is already putting himself forward.
He is a politician. It is good to aspire, to have an ambition. Like every politician has an ambition. For example, a sitting governor that has 2 years to complete his tenure has already declared for Senate in this country. That is why we are saying, where is governance? I am still emphasizing on that. In the country, the governor of Nasarawa State has already declared his ambition to contest the Nasarawa North senatorial seat. Meanwhile, he still has 2 years to go. That means governance in that state, sorry about that, may suffer. Because the concentration will now be on how to smoothen his way to getting the ticket and getting the mandate. So it is still a baby. Like the coalition is still a baby. No official pronouncement has been made. But I am still emphasizing that any coalition that will want to truncate the equation may not work.
All right. So that's to the politicians. We need to watch out for certain small things that hold us together, that provide stability. There's no doubt that arrangement has provided some huge measure of stability. It gives a sense of belonging.
So, and some politicians are still pushing for it to be expanded.
You know, just recently,
to accommodate every zone.
Which was thrown out.
Yes.
But it shows you the concern, the level of pain, the level of isolation that people feel that brought up that. Let's see. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Taraba State. My name is Ibrahim.
All right, Ibrahim, let's hear you.
The area of coalition, it is only when the people agree and drop their interest apart.
I guess your TV set the volume is too high, or you're too close to it. One of the two, or both. So do something about that quickly so we can hear you.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me now?
Better, it's better.
The area of the coalition, it is only the people. They should drop their interests first aside. And when they agree on zoning system, before it will work. Otherwise...
Oh, sorry about that, Ibrahim. Maybe you want to call back. So, this is something we cannot over talk about. We have very few minutes to go. In about 10, 13 or so minutes, all this will be over. So you still have this chance to call in, and let's have your way in. You have said it, you have put it very succinctly, any coalition that wants to ignore the arrangement, that balance, that little delicate balance, might be working against itself. Yeah. So what do you have to say there? You can call in now, 08029938365, 08029938365. The number is on the screen. And so maybe we should take one. Let's look at what Makinde said. I think that's very interesting. Very is a very good explanation, good comment. Like I've recorded it here, that it is not only about coalition, it is not only about defection. I gave an example with the Labour Party presidential candidate in 2023. Yes.
It didn't take a coalition for him to garner over 6 million votes, which is still insisting, complaining that he got more than that was what was allocated to him. So I think our governors, our presidents, our legislators should first of all deliver before they talk.
Before you talk about another tenure.
Like I've said here, if you deliver, definitely the people will be behind you. If you say, okay, my constituency, we don't have road. For example, I am still talking about it. In Ngopala local government area of Imo State, people cannot access the market. People living right inside the hinterland cannot bring their goods to Owerri to sell. Bad roads, erosion, villages cannot even meet each other.
Wow.
In Ngopala local government area, people cannot even access the local government headquarters. And they are calling on government to remember them. They look like an abandoned community. And not only one community. You have a major road that cuts across several communities. All of them not accessible. But in these same places, there are local government chairmen. There are House of Assembly representatives. There are constituents of a senator. There are constituents of a House of Reps member. And most importantly, they have a governor who is their chief security officer or the chief provider. So they should be these things should be looked into, because they are Nigerians. They should be treated like Nigerians.
All right. Hello there.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling from Yobe State.
What's your name?
My name is Emmanuel.
All right. Go on quickly.
Yes, what I wanted to discuss, my brother there, Ezocha, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
What I'm talking about security something, which I heard from people there.
Yes.
You know, in fact, yes, I can see that the soldiers are not agreed together within themselves. And the politicians also are putting hands on, because you remember Medidi, that the first president who is representing Medidi that when Boko Haram was inside his house, they pursued that thing, later they died the matter. I remember one of our brother, our neighbor brother, which is calling a wife that they will kill him because they say that he is a soldier. Say that they are killing Boko Haram. So definitely they later kill that brother. They later kill that soldier. The people who are working with him kill that soldier. So their mind are not the same. So insecurity in this very country. In fact, only God can help us. Even though you set an aim, if something happens, the soldier who is fighting and making and do the arrangement, they kill him. The soldier, the same soldier killed his own captain who is leading them. So, talking about this security, it's only God can help us, because their minds are not the same thing, they are not uniform. So that God will help us to make security company.
Thank you very much.
Believe that God will do something for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's a huge problem, and it's very worrisome. If soldiers are not together, definitely the enemy will have an upper hand, and that's the story we've been having. That's the testimony we've been having.
Yeah.
Or how can you have soldiers who are thinking in various directions, who are not focused on the same target? Of course, I mean, that's the failure. That's the beginning of failure. So when you are thinking of taking out the enemy, he is thinking of taking you out.
Taking you out. I think, like I have said here, the military, they are doing their best, but they need to be, in this situation, I think the military soldiers should be pampered by government. Soldiers should not be treated like terrorists. I mean, like captured terrorists. For example, we have seen cases of, you said you are releasing hundreds of people you call repentant terrorists. If you are a soldier fighting for your country,
how does that affect your psyche?
You see your colleagues being killed. Now you capture somebody who has shedded several blood of Nigerians. You hand them over to government, and after 2 months, you hear that they have released them in the name of they are repented. And when you release these people, you don't monitor where they are moving into. You know that a good number of them will go back to the trade they know best.
Yeah, exactly.
And you want the soldier to be happy
and to go with his entire
heart. These are some of the, you see, you don't fight terrorism with only the gun, and it needs intelligence. Like you said, both kinetic and non-kinetic measures should be taken to make sure that we stop this. This thing is eating deep into the society.
All right, let's take this call. Hello.
I'm Robinson from Robinson.
I didn't get the name. Robinson. Okay. Yes, let's hear what you've got to say. Yeah.
No, the other one that is thank you very much for your effort. What I'm trying to say is,
can you move away from your TV set? Can you move away from your TV set? Yeah?
Where are people supposed to be in our country?
Can you call us back, please? Please do call us back. That connection wasn't too good. Imagine what that does to the psyche of the soldier. Remembering that he was fighting alongside somebody and the person got cut down by a bullet, or his leg got amputated, and then now the people who perpetrated that atrocity are now brought and rehabilitated, given money from our purse, supported,
and maybe given clothes. They have repented,
and because they say they have repented,
you push them back into the society.
Somebody has a permanent damage to his life.
Some families have been rendered useless because of the death of one of their breadwinner, or maybe, and you want the soldier to be happy. And when you say you have released this repentant Boko Haram or terrorists, you don't even know whether they have truly, repented.
You should monitor them.
And it doesn't take only 2-3 months to say you have rehabilitated a dreaded terrorist. It doesn't. So that is why we have said distance interest has continued
to overshadow
everything.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your TV set volume is too high and you're too close to it.
Okay, can you get me now?
It's better now.
Okay, my name is Samuel Dogu, calling from Plateau State.
Go on, please.
Please, my best regard to the guests there at the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I'm very happy what you are saying in case of that security lines. I'll talk about 1, 2, 3 things.
Quickly, too.
Like the issue of the repentance, Boko Haram, or they call it banditry. Somebody that kills 1,000 community after 2 or 3 months, you release him, and they will still go back again. Somebody that used to sell beans, he can never forget about his business. Instead to keep them under custody, they will now release them. After they release them, they go on with their normal primary assessment. So government should supposed to look into it again. Look into it again. If you are a repentant, it is not security that will look after you. You are the one that's supposed to be submitted yourself before, but not let the government to look for you and you come back and that you have repent. So the guests in the stadium have already said everything, and I'm very happy with his word, and some people within me, they are very happy with his word. May God bless his word, and may God bless everybody in the KAFTAN.
Amen. Thank you. All right. So even as we get closer and closer to end point, the matter still has to do with mainly ADC, the new bride, and the security situation. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. I hope this is KAFTAN Radio.
Oh yes, you're welcome to KAFTAN TV.
Yes, KAFTAN TV. I'm sorry. My name is Fidelis. I'm calling from Abuja.
All right.
My interest follows from Mr. Nzeh's example of the impact made by Itobi, and secondly that the legislators, many of our legislators are there for themselves and not for the country, not for the masses, not for the people. That should have been an urgency. There ought to have been an urgency in reforming the electoral laws to bring about independent candidates, so that no well-meaning politician is boxed down by all the problems that exist in all of the political parties, as a way to ensure that we get the candidates that the people can really revolt against establishment to get somebody who will move this country forward.
All right. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes. And so we begin to wind down. You've heard my guests doing justice to the two major headlines, two major topics that ran through the entire gamut of the papers we looked at. Whether you talk about Vanguard, you talk about Tribune or Daily Independent and so on, the New National Star. Let's take this last call. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. All right. Cut down the volume of your TV set.
My contribution is that about the politician. Hello, sir.
You don't have to wait for me once you start. Just keep talking, but you have to cut down the volume of the TV set.
Okay. My question is about the politician. They have a brother and sister voted them into that office. So they should know the problem is their brother or their sister or their community, not somebody that is reporting to the government. That is their own problem. That is number one. Then number two, talking of a minister. Minister is appointed by the federal government, not individual. So like my community now, the problem that we are facing in my community now is too much. We can take with them, they will say, hold on, meet the government, meet the state, meet the local government, and meet the chairman. So you look at it everywhere and know what to do. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. At this point, I must begin to say my thank yous, and I'll start from this wonderful guest that finally made it here today. Thank you very much, Ezocha Nzeh. He's the editor of the New National Star. They're doing a great job. Please Go ahead and take a look at their paper, and you'll see the stuff has been put into it. And we expect that when we call you again, that you will kindly oblige us.
I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming. And then I must say thank you to my production team, wonderful team of great, bright minds. Incidentally, one of them is bright, okay? So thank you very much, production team. And I must say thank you so very much, millions of thanks to all our millions of viewers from around the world. Thank you for staying there. Thank you for staying tuned to KAFTAN TV. Thank you for also passing the message, for telling them that this is where it's happening. This is the best TV station around the world today. I make bold to say, and take the gospel to town and tell somebody that they must not miss out. Please do join me at 2, from 2 to 3:30. I'll be on the polity today, and we will be talking about some of the trending issues again. Not just that, in the evening, I'll also be here for 8 to 9 on Matters Arising. And so please be my guest, be my viewer throughout this day. Thank you very much, and God bless. My name remains Dayo Omoogun, as I say bye-bye.